This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
That is so beautiful.
No.
They're ridiculous.
She never stops whining.
Meghan Markle Googled, is the race card an actual card?
I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers. Slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
I think the woke have been asleep.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
Well, if Meghan and Harry can quit their family, you can too.
On her latest podcast appearance, Meghan Markle vowed to bear it all, no glam, no filters, just pure, uncut emotion. But instead of winning hearts, she sparked a wave of skepticism. Critics weren't buying it. What was supposed to be raw felt, rehearsed, and the no makeup moment? More like carefully curated vulnerability. Some even joked her tears had a lighting crew and a publicist standing by.
When there's nothing to be a victim about, and there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle that she's chosen to live.
Podcast host Karen Lima, one of Meghan's longtime friends, didn't walk away untouched. Her over-the-top flattery became a lightning rod for backlash. Commentators slammed the episode as less of an interview and more of a royal worship session. One viewer nailed the mood, saying it felt like a Meghan Markle infomercial dressed up. As a podcast, critics weren't shy about calling the whole thing a calculated PR stunt.
Work so hard. The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that, and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line and what's the cadence of it. And
in this interview, she really goes on these tangents of talking about how stressful her day is. And when I was listening to it, I was thinking, no, that sounds like a normal day to me, Meghan.
Push it did. Meghan's lifestyle products flew off the digital shelves. Sold out in just 30 minutes. But hold on, analysts were quick to point out the fine print. According to them, there wasn't much stock to begin with. The real trick? Create artificial scarcity, stir up FOMO, and boom instant buzz. But while the headline celebrated the sellout, frustrated customers flooded the comments, saying they still hadn't received a thing, even weeks later.
Sell herself as this wholesome mother who's baking cookies and making tea for the rest of the family.
She is doing a cooking show on Netflix. I only watched 5 seconds of it and I thought she was going to cut her wrist by trying to zest a lemon. This girl has never been in the kitchen in her life.
So when she's trying to sell these kind of, I'm sorry, but crappy cheap tats to middle America, she needs to have this relatability, and she doesn't have.
Same time, Meghan was preaching vulnerability on the mic. Behind the scenes, she was locking in trademarks for everything, from yoga mats to designer pet bowls. That move didn't go unnoticed. It sent a clear signal to critics. This podcast wasn't just about sharing her truth, it was about launching a brand empire. The timing was too perfect, the messaging too. Clean, and the merchandise? Suspiciously ready to roll.
These people were so mean to us and poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention.
Despite not making it onto the 2025 Time 100 list, Meghan still took center stage and delivered a speech that critics quickly tore apart. Many called it vague, overly curated, and void of substance. Viewers didn't hold back, asking what real impact she's had beyond curated content and curated jams. One viral comment nailed the sentiment. She's not changing the world, she's changing labels on jars.
Times list of cool people, but she did get invited there because her agency probably bought her access. This is one of the goofiest things ever.
Because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving.
What in the hell word salad is this?
Tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. Level of charm that you find people have when they see these tiny little dried petals is something I can't fully wrap my head around, but I appreciate.
I'm elevating it by putting dried flower petals on.
Old BBC interview. Harry openly criticized King Charles over lingering security issues just weeks after losing a major court appeal. But the timing couldn't have been worse. King Charles is currently battling cancer. Critics from the Daily Mail to the Mirror pounced, accusing Harry of using his father's illness to stir public sympathy and escalate the family feud.
On this push to make the British royal family pay for his security when he goes to the UK.
Once they realise that myself, my wife, and our kids are happier outside of the institution, please just look at the fact, look at the risks, look at the threat, look at the impact that if anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, look where the responsibility lies.
What a manipulation. My father's grandchildren. They're gonna and it will be his fault.
It's gaslight.
And in TR via EIGW social media lit up with backlash, drowning Harry in a flood of harsh words. Entitled, "Self-pitying and tone-deaf were just the start." Many accused him of playing victim while throwing his own family under the bus again.
Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout. Like she's completely camera ready. And she also is pretending that she's crying. There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
During promotion for Suits, she was joking with one of the photographers that she can cry on command. Left eye, go. And then you watch a tear fall down her face, and then she starts cackling because she's so proud of herself.
She has this really famous thing where she says one tap left eye and she can make herself cry.
Meghan and Harry faced a digital firestorm over their latest public moves. Meghan's podcast, Torn Apart. Critics labeled it a self-focused therapy session dressed up as empowerment. The Telegraph didn't mince words either, branding her a malignant narcissist.
Up their whole thing, went way too hard on we're victims, and they assessed the mood of their generation and America correctly in that we are lovers of victimhood. Yeah. But America did finally find a way to say, you know what, we love victims, but you two, we've just had a little too much.
Reports from Page 6 revealed that big names like Goop are reportedly distancing themselves from Meghan, calling her too polarizing to represent their lifestyle image. Meanwhile, her podcast host, Jaime Kern-Lima, took heat for sounding forced and over-rehearsed. YouTube critic The Royal Rogue didn't hold back either, blasting Jaime for sounding like a cheerleader on payroll.
I have full body chills right now.
This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on for her.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No.
Dan, when you do interviews on your show, do you do the Jaime Kern-Lima reactions? Yes. Oh my God, there's like...
At the end of the day, the public isn't buying the act. Skepticism is winning out over sympathy.